Hello, hello! It's Speak Now 1, Speak Now lesson, units 21 to 24. In these 4 lessons, we learned a lot. Actually, they have been 9 lessons covering 4 units, 21 to 24. Thanks, the lorry, or truck if you prefer American English. And we discussed a lot about shopping. The last lesson was the English in Action lesson. That was a recap of the vocabulary and structures of those 4 units. Do you remember Eric? He was trying to sell a chair. He thought he would sell it online, but it was much easier than he thought, and he could get more money than he thought as well. We had these sentences, we talked about selling used items or buying items. I liked the lesson. Well, I hope you also liked the lesson. But what are we going to do in the Speak Now lesson? We are going to try some dialogues based on the units we saw. For example, lesson 21, I have here the language booster. We had these structures here in which we asked about prices and we gave prices for things. Do you remember that guy going to Santa Monica hostel and they talked about coffee? Let me just get a color for us here and we can talk more easily about this. Yes, very good. Right. Look, these are some ways. How much is a cup of coffee? Why don't you repeat the sentence? How much is a cup of coffee? A cup of coffee is $6. How much does a cup of coffee cost? Look, is verb to be, does because now the verb is cost. A cup of coffee costs $6. What's the price of a cup of coffee? Oh, the price of a cup of coffee is $6, or a cup of coffee is $6. What does a cup of coffee cost? Aha! A cup of coffee costs $6. How much are movie tickets? Movie tickets are about $13. And now look, we are talking about something that is plural. Here we are talking about tickets. How much do movie tickets cost? Again, we have a verb. The verb cost, so we need the auxiliary to make a question, to ask a question. Right? Movie tickets cost $13. Tickets cost, a cup costs. Remember that. He, she, it, ganha S. Right? And this is it. This is what we had in lesson 21. And what do we have to do when we have the live lesson, the live Speak Now lesson? We are going to see structures again. Ask student B for the price of 2 of the items below. A candy bar, a DVD, a bottle of water, if you prefer, and a bowl of noodles. What are noodles? Aquele macarrãozinho tipo miojo, you know? And the other student will give the price, right? So a simple dialogue here. How much is a candy bar? A candy bar is about $1. And how much does a DVD cost? It depends, but many DVDs are about $20. $20? Wow. Yes. All right. So, and then you are going to see if you can ask about prices very well. And obviously, now after doing this short dialogue, we are going to exchange roles. And if you were student A, now you will be student A, and you start asking about the other two items, right? Can you give prices? Can you ask about prices? This is the objective of this review. Then we are going to 22. Will you take $20? Do you remember the lesson? It was about bargaining. It was about suggesting a different price. Here we had this wonderful dialogue, and the boy wanted the lamp, but he wouldn't like to buy for $40. Well, she wouldn't like to sell for $20, but in the end she accepted $25, right? And this is bargaining. He asks for a lower price, she suggests a bit bigger price, and so on. We talked about buying used items like clothes, CDs, makeup, video games, furniture, toys, electronics, and sports equipment. Like in Lavras, it's very common to sell and buy used furniture because there are always students moving in and out from Lavras. What do we have to do in the live lesson? Well, in the live lesson, we are going to talk about, look, take something from your bag and put it on your desk. Sell it to student B for a good price. Wow, from your bag. What do I have here on my table? I have these glasses. Did you know to read I have to wear glasses sometimes? Well, it's much easier reading with glasses. I also have this fountain pen. Very good. It's very soft to write. I have these markers that are really nice. And I have my mobile phone. I like this mobile phone, so I could sell it. Like, imagine a dialogue. Will you take $20 for that cell phone? My cell phone? I can give it to you for $40. It's only 6 months old. Well, this is an example dialogue, right? Will you give it to me for 30? You can have it for 33. Okay, that's a good price. Thanks. You see? So that's an imaginary dialogue. I wouldn't sell it for $33. Do you ever buy books? Was lesson 23. And well, yes, can you bargain for a lower price? Can you suggest a different price? Why don't you watch the video, practice the structures and everything before the live lesson? It would be good. And lesson 23, unit 23 had 2 lessons. And what was it about? Do you remember? Do you ever buy books? And it was all about frequency. Often, sometimes, never. I never buy newspapers because I search for the news on the internet or on TV. Energy drinks, magazines, vitamins, candies, flowers, gum, and phone cards. Well, do you remember the dialogue? We had a dialogue here in this lesson, and it was about the magazines that Lian used to buy. She said she bought lots of magazines, but what kind? Fashion and interior design magazines. How often? Every week. So look at the question. How often do you buy magazines. I buy magazines every week, right? Do you always throw them away? No, I keep them all. I keep all of them. You see? So that was what we had. What do we have here in the live lesson, in the live Speak Now lesson? Let's see. Ask student B about how often they do things. We have these ideas here. Read newspapers, go online, rent DVDs, and email. Well, today, this very day, I'm recording this video on the 13th of March 2022. And there was news at G1 Global talking about a successful DVD rental shop. Wow, crazy, right? Who would ever rent DVDs? And they rent them for some €5, and they're successful. Can you believe that? So let's imagine a dialogue here. Do you ever rent DVDs? No, I never do. I watch movies online. How often do you email? I mail 8 or 10 times a day. You see, so you're talking about frequency, how many times you do in a month. This is what we are going to do. Can you ask about frequency? Do you ever read newspapers? How often do you go online? These are two structures, right? And let's move on to lesson 24. Your phone is so cool. It's fresh in your mind. All the structures, right? We talked about features. And we talked about opposites. Heavy, light, cheap, expensive, large, small, bright, dark, fast, slow, thick, thin, wide, narrow, noisy, quiet. Right? Well, we had much more than that. We had this dialogue, for example, in which they were talking about her mobile phone, Iris's mobile phone. It's very light. She watches videos a lot, frequently. She watches videos frequently. It has a big screen, and the camera is great. You see, they are talking about features. Her Iris's mobile phone's features. We practiced the conversation, and it was all about learning how to talk about features. My desk is heavy. This book is light. It's noisy at concerts. It's quiet in the library, right? But what we have to do in the live lesson? Well, describe an item you own or something you are thinking of buying and include at least 3 features. That's really nice, right? For example, we could have a conversation like this, or some explanations or descriptions of features like this. This is my new cell phone. It has some cool apps in my cell phone. And the picture is really good. It's also light. 3 features. Cool apps, good pictures, light. It's great. This is my new tablet. Where's my tablet? Not here to show you. My tablet computer. It's got a cool design and it's thin. It's also expensive. Well, mine wasn't exactly expensive. It was such a good deal. And, well, it's thin, cool design, 3 features again. Right, and can you describe the features of something? Maybe your car, your tablet, your mobile phone, your blender. Blender, what is it? Liquidificador, remember that? What can you describe? And I hope we have a wonderful lesson. And as we are talking about our wonderful live lesson, see you then. Bye bye.